Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Who are these people?
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Don't be rude.
All right.
Who are these ochos?
Yeah, welcome to this episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. I'm honestly lost count. So, host Angel Rivera alongside Mrs.Witchy Perfect. First episode of the year. So, how's everyone doing?
Oh, doing as best we can.
Yeah, of course. That's all we can do in this tough world that we're in. By the way, we are on we have a brand new channel we're streaming on starting tonight. It's called INN8 The Ocho. So I linked the I linked it in the chat, it should be in the top of the chat. So you guys want to subscribe to that channel. Indy says Ocho activated. Yep. Who are these Ochos?
We the ochos.
Yeah, I feel sorry for that AI wrestler in the weight card. He looks like Mad Crab. His spine looks like it's spun on the way out. Ouch. He's talking about
technically doing something that is physically impossible.
Yeah, that's an AI act thing, I made up, but yeah, for now, that'll do. So
no, it's cool. It's cool.
So yep. So tonight we'll be talking about multiple things in the first hour. The second hour we'll be doing more clips. So hopefully, we can get through this soon, as quickly as possible. I thought that we'll just real quick mention the AEW pay-per-view World's End. Not much happened, but there were some things that stuck out to me. So I'm not going to go through the entire card because I really don't care, but I want to talk about Raw going to Netflix on Monday. So that's a big show, which we're all going to be watching, I'm sure.
I'll be catching probably the clips because I have a show at 8 o'clock. Or 9 o'clock.
Right. Yeah, right. You got a show to do. Okay. Well, there was 11 matches. No, actually, no. It was technically.
Oh my God. What?
Yeah, there were 3 pre-show matches and 8 main show matches. So I'm not going to go through all these matches. Of course, Okada beat Ricochet. Ricochet looks like a bitch lately, so not surprising. They make him look like a bitch on TV, and he left
Oh yeah.
WWE to be a main eventer, but he made him like a bitch. So it shows how much Tony Khan thinks of him. Will Ospreay defeated Kyle Fletcher. Of course, this is the match where Will Ospreay and Fletcher headbutt each other for real, for no reason, started
Oh
bleeding.
my god.
They headbutt each other for real. So concussions, multiple concussions reach them. Usually how a headbutt would work is you grab somebody like this and just headbutt your own thumb. So you wouldn't hurt yourself or your opponent. You headbutt your own thumb.
Oh my gosh.
That's not supposed to work, but they headbutt each other for real multiple times. So that was stuck out from that match.
Concussions, anyone?
Mariah May defeated Thunder Rosa in a Tijuana street fight. I didn't even know this match happened, so I don't care. MJF defeated Adam Cole. Is it me or Adam Cole's getting smaller every time I see him?
It's not your imagination.
So he defeated him for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, which MJF
What
has
the
held for
holy
years.
what?
That's the first year of AEW. He won that, and he's had it ever since. He'll occasionally defend it and retain it. It's a diamond ring, so whatever. Konosuke Takeshita defeated Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah. Mercedes Moné defeated Chris Statlander. This is the match where she kicked out of a package pile driver, which is a copy of what Kevin Owens did to Cody Rhodes. But Cody Rhodes was out for like 2 weeks. Mercedes Moné kicked out of 2 like he's Hulk Hogan. So
Right. And this is like, well, it's almost like Hulk Hogan though, because in a way, she's getting over every time. She's not putting anybody over, but she's getting over every time.
Yep. So she's like Hogan, she won't put anybody over, and she kicks out everything, even moves that put Cody Rhodes in the hospital. He's a WWE champion. So yeah, she's apparently more powerful than Cody Rhodes. So logic be damned. Let's see. Okada defeated Will Ospreay in the Continental Classic final. So Okada retains his Continental Championship, even though why he's in the tournament, I'll never know.
National?
No, it's the Continental Championship.
Oh, Continental. I thought you said Intercontinental. I was like, I don't think that's that.
No, Takeshita defeated Powerhouse Hobbs for the International Championship.
Okay.
Let's see. So then after the Okada match, Ospreay match, Kenny Omega returned. He came out to challenge Okada for that belt. So here we go. So Kenny Omega.
And really, nobody was like, everyone's like, yay.
So he's back from diverticulitis. So, and I guess he's going to challenge Okada for that belt at some point, which I don't care about. Whatever. The main event had John Moxley defeating Orange Cassidy, Hangnail Adam Page, and Jay White by pinfall. So it's a 4-way.
Lazy booking. What the hell is that?
Yeah, so John Moxley defeated Orange Cassidy, the Hangnail, and Jay White. Okay. And then at the end of that match, which was what happened afterwards, FTR came out. And then they waited, and then here comes Edge. Edge is back from his broken leg after he fell off the cage and broke his leg 6 months ago.
Of course.
So he's back. And in fact, I mean, this is on Dynamite, but I'm going to say it real quick. He changed his name from Adam Copeland to Cope. Seriously. He's the rated R superstar Cope.
Well, I'm not too surprised. I mean, to be honest, to be the true honest, he's been blocking a lot of people lately on X. So yeah, Cope is a good one. It's kind of like, reality.
He's been blocking a lot of people on X lately. I don't really interact with him. That's why.
Yeah, it's like tier. I mean, what did I say to you? Oh, he's acting like a snowflake now. Is that what I said to you? He's acting such like a snowflake right now. Edge is back. Yeah. Isn't he like 60 years old by now? 50 something, I thought.
He's mid-50s, yeah, and he's jumping off cages like he's Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
And what did I tell you? He's probably going to break his ankle again, or his leg, or his arm.
Yeah, he's back. He's apparently going to challenge John Moxley for the world title. And I'm sure people forgot, but Christian has that contract for a guaranteed world title shot, which is their version of Money in the Bank. So, So we might see Edge and Christian for the world title again in AEW in 2025. So Edge versus Christian for a world title in 2025 when both guys are way past their prime. So it shows what Tony does. That's what Tony does. MJF is not in the world title picture. Oh, in fact, on Dynamite, Jeff Jarrett came out and cut a promo saying he wants the world title.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
jeez. Come on. Really?
so right now the world title picture is John Moxley, Edge, Christian, and Jeff Jarrett, most likely. Guys all in their mid. Moxley's the youngest one; he's like 40, but the other guys are all in their mid-50s. So
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Jeff Jarrett won't go away. He won't retire. He won't go
I
away.
keep seeing him all over X. I'm like, what is this dude thinking? I mean, come on.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett.
Sorry.
Back Cookie says Edge and Christian in a ring. What year is this? 2001. Yeah, that's that. It's like 20 years ago when they
Yeah.
were both in their prime. Like, so yeah, that was AEW World's End. They setting up Moxley versus Edge, and then I keep calling Edge because I'm sorry, he's been like it was
No,
like
I
that over
mean,
20 years,
just
and I'm not gonna
if
call him
you have
Cope.
to, yeah, I'm not going to call him Cope. Let's just call him Adam. If you call him Edge, whatever.
Yeah, Adam. Well, yeah. So eventually they're setting up Moxley versus Edge, and then after that, I'm assuming Christian will cash in the contract. He'll win the world title, and him and Edge will feud again for the world title. And I'm sure Jeff Jarrett will be hanging around too. So in that picture,
Yeah,
so
I mean, Jeff Jarrett, come on. You're second generation. You can't put asses in seats. Give up the ghost. It's time to go.
yeah, but Tony Khan is in love with the wrestlers he grew up watching, which is why he keeps signing all these guys. He had Flair under contract at one point.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't have Flair as a wrestler though. He had
No,
him as like a manager or something.
yeah. He make sure you subscribe to the new INN channel, the Ocho. I linked it on top of the chat. It should be the link chat. So if you haven't, make sure you subscribe. We'll be doing a lot more content there in the coming weeks. So check us out there. And let's get to what we're really here for, WWE on Netflix, starting Monday night on Raw.
Okay.
Because I just went through the pay-per-view as quickly as I can. I don't care.
Okay.
Let's see.
Should we start with the Raw that
Yeah.
passed?
Yeah, I mean, we
not
had
really a lot happened.
yeah, that was more of a setting up for Raw on Netflix. They
Right.
had the only thing I really think of is Edge, not Edge. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, having their confrontation at the end of the show, which was great. But
Well, okay. In that case, we could talk about SmackDown because that was more of a build up to the Netflix. So what happened on SmackDown was Paul Heyman basically came out and said, "Oh, that sneaky son of a bitch, or the twisted son of a bitch, Solo Sokola, he stole that Ula Fala. He did not earn it."
yeah,
And excuse me, when Sokola came out, or Sokoa, when he came out, everyone was so mad when he went like this, and Paul Heyman's like, "Oh well, all right, here." But I like the part where he goes, "I'm just gonna let you know, in 10 seconds, I'm gonna piss myself." I'm like, "Well, thanks for the information."
Well,
I was sitting there at work today, just going, "Well, thanks for the information. We really didn't need to know that." But yeah. So like he told him, I went through a table for this and la la la. And then he hands him the thing and he says, once I beat Roman, you will acknowledge me. And all I kept thinking was, I don't know about this match. I don't know who to pick really. Because Sokola is so hated as a heel. They barely won't let him talk.
unless this is one big work and Paul Lee's gonna double cross Roman Reigns, so and
I was thinking that too.
willingly go with Solo this time.
Because Paul Heyman is so good as a heel, and Roman Reigns is now a babyface. So,
That's the only way I'm thinking this, because the match is tribal combat, so there's no DQ to end this for this match for the Ula Fala. So I'm thinking that Paul Lee's just going to turn on Roman Reigns and join up with Solo willingly this time, unlike before where he was there unwillingly. So because Roman's a babyface, and does he really need Paul Heyman at this point? He's over without him. So, and Paul Heyman is a lot better used as a heel. So,
and that's kind of how it led. I'm guessing how it led off. I only see the highlights, um, so that it started with that, and then of course we went to titty time. Finally, this bitch gives up that money in the bank, and we're.
It felt kind of random, honestly. Like, oh yeah, tonight you're gonna win this belt. It felt like kind of random. Like they forgot she had the briefcase, and then they realized, oh shit, let's put the belt on her. Okay, you're gonna get the belt tonight. Go out there and do what you do.
Right.
And
But I mean, she had been teasing it
yeah,
and
yeah, it
teasing
felt
it, and they had
random.
been milking it and milking it for so freaking long now. It's kind of like, ugh, oh,
They
fine,
got
whatever.
over it. The
Okay.
fans, they pop for her win,
Yeah, they
but
did pop for her. They did pop for her.
to me, it felt random. It was like, oh, tonight you can get
Yeah.
this belt. So I didn't really like it that much. But
Well,
okay,
so
she.
who are you picking for the Ulafala?
It's a tough one to pick because I don't know. Excuse me. Um, the most likely scenario is Solo wins by Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns at the end of the match. So,
Mhm.
and either kicking him in the nuts or something happens and then Solo hits his finish and just pins Roman Reigns and takes the Ulafala, and then I assume Roman Reigns will have something to do at WrestleMania, so it's like he's going away. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean
Okay.
it's interesting to see
Well,
what they'll do with him.
I'll take Roman Reigns. That Roman Reigns will get it back and maybe get the old the bloodline, the old bloodline back together,
Yeah.
and then the new one will just kind of be there. But that whole when Jacob Fatu or with the werewolf,
Mm-hmm.
when he does this and he goes, "I love you, Solo," it's kind of like, and the thing is, they were chanting for that. They're like they're repeating it as he's saying it.
Yeah, that's getting over too with the audience.
Yeah, so I think they're probably going to maybe do the opposite. Maybe turn Jacob Fatu and them babyface. Or
Yeah, they
maybe turn Roman Reigns back to a heel and turn Sokoa babyface. Because it's getting over so well with the fans, but yet they hate Sokoa. So it's kind of like that. Which direction are they going to go?
Yeah, man, there's so many ways you can turn Jacob Fatu babyface and have him screw Solo out of the thing,
Mm-hmm.
because he's over the top with the "I love you" Solo thing. So it seems like he's trying. It could very easily end up being that Solo would. I mean, what's his face? I forgot his name. I just said it. Jacob Fatu was with
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns all along. It's just that Roman now is going to pull the trigger on turning on Solo. Which
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make much sense because they had that brutal War Games match just a couple months ago. So it's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but that's an option. They could do that too. So we're gonna get CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. These are the confirmed matches as of now. And apparently that's gonna be the main event. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Solo versus Roman. We talked about. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, women's world title. Last woman standing. That's new. I didn't know they even booked that as a last woman
No,
standing match.
I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley. She has to get the belt back.
Yeah, this has run its course. Liv Morgan's title run has run its course, so she has
Mm-hmm.
to get that belt back. So yeah, I agree with that. And the other confirmed match is Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso.
I sent this to you and I said, I don't get this. I don't know why he did that. Because he didn't stop Kevin Owens from coming into the ring and ambushing Cody Rhodes. But Drew McIntyre hugged Cody Rhodes. I'm like, boys get a room? But I was all
Yeah,
kinds of confused.
I don't know why that happened. I mean, and these are some of the more speculated things supposed to happen. John Cena farewell tour begins, which has been confirmed because they're already promoting Cena
Right,
coming
right.
back. The Rock returning, I mean, that's almost guaranteed because
Logan
he's going to
Paul? Who
be.
gives a shit about that dude?
The Rock is definitely returning because he's doing the Golden Globes in Los Angeles too.
Oh, get out.
The
Of
night
course he
before.
is.
The night he's already in Los Angeles, so if he's
Okay.
showing up, it's almost guaranteed. Logan Paul comes back. I mean, I'm sure that's going to happen because it's on Netflix and they
Yeah,
want to
but
have
no,
all the stars
I mean,
back.
who really cares?
Yeah, we have Becky Lynch possibly returning, very likely. Charlotte Flair might return. I've been waiting. We're
That would
waiting
be
all year for
interesting to
her.
see because I want to see who she goes after. Is she going to go? Maybe there will be something with her and Rhea Ripley.
Yes, or her and the other girl, Tiffany, because Tiffany looks
Tiffany
just like
Stratton,
her.
yeah.
Looks
Yep.
just like her, except 15 years younger, but he looks just like her.
Yeah.
Travis Scott's performance, wherever that is, Triple H kicking off the new era, and the new Raw logo and stage. So apparently they're gonna have a new Raw logo and stage. Triple H will be, of course, coming to the ring and kick off the new era of Netflix. So these are more speculation here, but Penta Izquierdo Miedo is debuting and teaming up with Rey Mysterio to take on the New Day. 'Cause they set up that match on Raw on Monday. It's Rey Mysterio and a partner versus the New Day.
Okay.
So everybody's thinking it's Penta because they're already kind of teasing him with on Raw too. They teased him, so they had a 0 and then they basically drew out his mask and it was like, oh yeah, that's Penta.
Oh, okay.
So they spelled it out like, okay, Penta's coming in. He's debuting soon. It's like Penta Izquierdo Miedo, which is his full name. I'm not sure what they're gonna call him, but it's just Penta or because I don't think they'll use that whole name. It's kind of a mouthful. They might just call him Penta. And Wyatt Six have a big segment. Alexa Bliss returns. She's been out for a long time.
Well, that the Wyatt Six is, I mean, I don't know if that's speculation or they're just trying to cram it all in there because isn't it 3 hours?
Yeah,
on
Raw's
Netflix?
3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll be going back to 2.
No, Raw's going to be probably 3 hours permanently now. So is SmackDown. So they have an extra hour television to produce.
I think you were saying that, but yeah, okay. So
So
yeah, I
both
mean, they have
will
to
be
stick
3
in
hours.
there somewhere. They have to stick that in.
More surprises expected, including appearances from Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker. Okay.
I would love that.
Never know. Goldberg and Brock Lesnar could return as well. Yeah, it's possible.
See,
too.
I don't know about Brock Lesnar. I think he's done.
Triple H said Brock Lesnar's still under contract, so he's not fired. So they're
That's
kind
true.
of probably reserving him for a big return because he's been out ever since that lawsuit.
Yeah.
It never named him. That's the thing. It said UFC champion. Oh, the only one employed at the time was Brock, because everybody assumed it was Brock. But all right, let's see. Possible WWE 2K25 teaser, the new game. Maybe Batista returns as first inductee in WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025.
I mean, I didn't like Batista, so okay, whatever.
Let's see. Cody Rhodes, Gunther, Bianca Belair all be there. Possibly Kevin Owens, LA Knight, Randy Orton as well. So and so much more. Yeah, it's a 3-hour show. This is a speculation on what's going to happen.
I don't foresee Randy Orton at least until the Royal Rumble. I mean, it's possible, but I think they're going to keep him out to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, so this is a lot of this is speculation.
Well, they forgot that the Cody Rhodes and the ladder match with Kevin Owens.
That's promoted for the Royal Rumble, so they're
I thought that was for Netflix.
No, that's for the Royal Rumble. They're building it. They're probably using Netflix show to build it up more, but that's for the Rumble.
Okay.
In February. Let's see. So yeah, I suspect that so this is an interesting thing that came across my timeline. Apparently this is the new canvas for WWE and they're ready for starting for Netflix. I'm not sure you saw this or not, but this is the new canvas that they're going to debut for Netflix, I guess.
Not bad. I mean, it's kind of like NASCAR drivers. You should have on there who is supporting you.
Yeah, so what's interesting is they have Fortnite in the middle there. So apparently Fortnite's going to sponsor WWE now.
Snickers and Cricket Wireless.
Snickers, Cricket, Netflix,
of course, Netflix.
Obviously.
Real American beer. Real American beer.
Yeah. And Riyadh from Saudi Arabia. So they have their logo there too.
It's always Saudi Arabia.
You hear the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi Arabia in 2026, so next year.
That's right.
Yeah, and people were kind of like, why? Because CM Punk is not working at Saudi Arabia shows because of his political beliefs with he's for the Palestinians, he's against genocide, so Punk, that's the reason I like Punk for that reason.
Is that true? That's Hogan's beer? Real American beer?
I have to look at that. Indy, we have Netflix at the moment. I might have to watch. Holy shit, Indy's gonna actually watch WWE. I mean, when the last time you watched? like
Yeah, like a
15
long
years
time
ago.
ago, Indy.
If you're still there. Damn it. Real American beer. That might. Oh yeah, that might be Hogan's beer. Real. I remember he had a beer. I think we talked about it on the show. Yeah, it is. Taste Hulk Hogan's Real American beer. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, jeez.
So WWE, I think the Hogan's paying, or the company is paying for the sponsorship. So they said yeah because it's Hogan too. So he might show up this episode too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bad Cookie says, Indy, you watch enough wrestling and American politics. Isn't that enough for you? Yeah, I mean, it's not it's for, I mean, I still enjoy it. So that's supposed to be the new canvas, allegedly. I don't know how true this is. The one thing Vince McMahon never did was sponsorships on the canvas like this, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
It never happened under Vince. I don't know, maybe it was an old school thing with his dad. And I mean, he was kind of old school in certain stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
And now it looks like with the new ownership, they don't care. They're treating it like boxing. You know how boxing is a shit ton of advertisements on the canvas and on the
Yeah.
corners. So
Yep.
so the new owners they own UFC too. And UFC is a shit ton of advertisement on the canvas. So they're not going to waste that prime real estate on that canvas. So this prime real estate to make a lot of money. So
Mm-hmm.
so let's see. At least we get actual fake fights. I prefer actual fighting. Maybe you guys will graduate to the UFC one day.
No, I'm not much for the UFC. Sorry.
Where's the Slim Jim logo? That's a good question. I mean, WWE has been had a relationship with Slim Jim since Macho Man Randy Savage in the early '90s. So,
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I just wanted to show that as well. So, my mother just got Netflix yesterday, and she had me do it because I think I said this on yesterday's show, or no, it was before yesterday's show. I talked to you about it, and basically, she initially said, "Well, I'm not getting Netflix, or so I don't want to spend the extra money for Raw." I was like, "Okay, I don't care. I usually watch the clips anyways."
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew she would change her mind, and by the New Year, she changed her mind and handed me her card. Like, "Oh, get Netflix." I was like, "Okay." We got the $6.99 a month with commercials. I don't care. I mean, I'm not paying $22 a month for no for the. It's $22 a month if you want it with no commercials.
Right. Okay.
No, this is what. Hold on. Triple H did an interview and said something interesting here about how long Netflix is going to be. Ooh, let's see. The game. The game says it'll be flexible, and it said and the length of Raw. It'll be flexible. I don't think we necessarily have the time constraints of network television or cable television apply. I think much like many shows, they have the ability to do whatever the show needs and have done. So the episode needs to be an hour. Great, it's an hour. This next episode needs to be 42 minutes, so it's 42 minutes. It's what makes for the best product. I'm not saying it would do 42 minutes, but clearly we'll deliver the product in a way that is best for Netflix and for their business model and what are best storytelling. So in a roundabout way, he's saying, well, it doesn't need to be 3 hours every week. We can do 2.5 hours. We can do 2:45. We can do 2 hours. It depends what we feel like doing that week.
I mean, it all depends on what a filler is, like the Wyatt Sick or Six or
because they're not doing an
Day.
hour. They're not doing an hour long. There's no way. I'm not buying that hour long thing.
Karrion Kross could be in there too. Him and his gang. Karrion Kross.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure they'll be part of that. Vince always did cross promo, just not putting other logos in the ring. Yeah, I mean, that's his old school dad thing. His dad never put advertisements, and I sometimes like the old school approach that Vince had for certain things. Dr. Nick Riviera says, Angel, you're better than this. Stop humiliating yourself. What do you mean humiliating myself?
If you're here to start a fight, Dr. Nick, you can save it. I don't know what I've done to you. I didn't really do anything other than clarify that Saturday is not Satan's day. It has to do with Saturn, and Saturn was Kronos. Kronos was the god of the harvest. So whatever beef you have with me, if you don't like it, you can just leave because we're done. I didn't do anything wrong to you. I have never said a bad word about you. So leave it. Done. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I mean it like I said, it all depends on like what the filler is. So like the Wyatt Six or Karrion Kross and that dude. I'm still trying to figure out where Karrion Kross fits into this and his little gang of misfits.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems like a really cool dude.
This.
I mean, yeah.
Reef and I have been kicking around the idea of a UFC recap show. I mean,
go for it.
I mean, I think that we've been discussing that for a while now. We never really did anything with it, but I would for the new channel. For the new channel, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, we need the content, and I would love to be a part of the show. I know I have to watch the fights with you guys, and I rarely do because I fall asleep before the show. Before I can actually get on, but yeah.
So I mean, I just don't like UFC. I'm sorry. I like the wrestling. The wrestling is my thing.
Yeah, I mean I like both. I can watch both. It's just that it starts so late at 10 p.m. For whatever reason. I'm not sure why I've been falling asleep so much earlier now, and I rarely get on. I got on for the Tyson fight, the Tyson Jake Paul fight. I was curious about, and I was curious how Netflix would handle it, and did any good. I didn't. Yeah, they did not do a good job, quite frankly. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, I can't believe Tyson took a dive for Paul. I mean, everyone says he did. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying it just seems like he took a big dive for, know.
That's what people were saying, that he took a dive for Jake Paul. I saw that fight, and it seemed like Tyson just couldn't move anymore. I mean, he's like almost 60, and he still had the power. If Jake Paul would have stayed in front of him, he would have got knocked out. That's for sure.
Hey, Indy. If Angel's old, then I am too, because I'm like a few months older than he is. Come on.
Indy said the problem is making the time to record. Oh yeah,
that is true. That is definitely true. Yep. Especially when you have so many shows as you do.
I know.
You're part of everybody.
I have 2 shows, and that would be a third, which I'm not going to run it, so it's not a big deal. I'll just sit there, give my opinion, but I just have to watch the fights. I know. Steve Stevens says like wrestling's better than MMA.
Yeah, see, I think so too. I'm just so see. That's where I was like, well, if he's old, if he's old, then I'm old too because I'm older than him by a few months. I'm April. He's August. Indy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna check it out because I'm probably gonna watch it live. I've not watched Raw live in like 25 years. Literally 25 years I've not watched Raw live, like since the mid 2000s.
Is it starting at 8 and ending at 11, or is it starting at 9 and ending at 12?
It's starting at 8. I'm looking at it here.
Okay.
It starts from 8 to 11, I guess. It's 3 hours. But Triple H is claiming that they have flexibility to end at 2 hours and 30 minutes or 2 hours or 2:45, so they don't really need to go 3 hours like on cable.
But like I said, it depends on how many fillers they can fill in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you have what, 5? No, you have 4 matches? Is it 4 or 5 matches?
Only 3 or 4 matches are confirmed, but I'm sure there'll be a lot more. And there'll be a lot more segments too. Like
I was gonna say, probably the segments. I could see the New Day and the Penta with Rey Mysterio, as they've already talked about that. But
yeah.
Surprises. I could see them being like, wow, wowing the crowd of like Stone Cold maybe.
Yeah, they teased the New Day confronted Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio's like, okay, let's have a match next week. It's like, what are you going to do? Get one of these guys as your partner? He still has the LWO for no reason. They're just there. So it's like one of these losers going to be a partner, and he's like, oh, you'll find out next week or something to that effect. Like, okay, so they're teasing, and then right after that they had the Penta tease, and it's like, okay, you spelled it out. It's Penta. Okay.
So that's going to be Mysterious partner.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be. I already do 2, 3 shows a week. I do too. I do
I
2,
do too.
and I appear in other people's shows occasionally, like Snows and stuff. So
I'm
that'd
gonna
be
be on Snows
3.
this week.
Okay. Indy says, "Well, I'm 50." It's like, yeah, I'm about to turn 39 in
You're
August.
50,
So
Indy? I thought you were like 40-ish. I wouldn't have gone any higher than 42. Well, you look young for your age. I've never seen your face, but you sound young. Okay, you sound young. I've got nothing but great things to say about this. I'm really kind of back and forth between the Ulafala and who's going to win it. I'd like to say Roman Reigns, but of course, Sokola could win it too.
Mhm.
Solo could win it. Gee, I don't. I can't be clear and concise here because they're leading us down 2 paths.
There's so many paths that can take this down. Like we said, Paul Heyman turns on Roman and joins Solo willingly this time. Jacob can turn on Solo and join up with Roman. So because he's such a baby face now that I don't see Sim sticking with Solo doesn't make much sense because
Mhm.
he's just bringing babyface cheering instead of heat to the group.
Yeah, I
So
mean that whole "I love you, Sokoa" or
yeah, that's getting
Solo,
over.
that's
That's getting
really it
over
was
somehow.
trending. It was
Yeah,
trending on X. I
yeah.
saw that. I'm like, oh no. So
Oh,
I
they
think
had.
something's gonna happen.
I'm not gonna play the sound, but they had the old school Raw intro from the '90s, from the Attitude Era, with the new wrestlers. You
Oh
remember the old
no.
school Raw intro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had. This is old school Raw intro with the modern wrestlers. I'm not going to show much of this, but I just wanted to, yeah, it's your time. The old school Raw is War intro.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
yeah, I'll probably
Trying to
play
bring
it.
in the Attitude Era with the modern, right?
Yeah, they're trying to get Attitude Era fans to watch again.
Well, I
It's
do
like,
have a quick criticism of Drew McIntyre. First of all, in the Attitude Era, brother was never really said. It was
yeah,
Austin 316, right? So
hmm
you have that, and then yeah, Drew may interfere and attack Roman too. That's why I'm kind of like back and forth with this, guys. I'm not really sure who to choose.
another option. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I have a little he said, "Oh, the 80s weren't good. The 90s weren't good. The Attitude Era, brother." What time out. First of all, there was no brother in the Attitude Era.
hmm
That was in the 80s and the 90s. And first of all, yes. Second of all, for those who keeping count. Second of all, the 80s and the 90s were good, and even the territories before that. So I do not agree
hmm
with Drew McIntyre on that one. That theirs is the best generation of wrestling. I do not
Well,
agree.
well, I mean, I think he's just trying to generate more heat for himself there,
Yeah,
and
because
that's
I mean, you're talking about Dusty was in the 80s and the 90s,
yeah.
and before that in the territories, and that's Cody's dad.
So it's been confirmed that Michael Cole and Pat McAfee's gonna be calling Raw from now on, and
I was gonna say because NFL is rolling down.
yeah, the last game of the season is tomorrow night,
Yeah, I know
and
because the
thank
Vikings are
God,
against Detroit.
yeah,
Come on, Vikings!
and thank God because the Giants have utterly humiliated themselves this season.
Oh no, that's right. You're a
They
Giants
they
fan, right?
won. They won last week by some miracle, and I hated the fact they won because it ruined their draft position. But whatever, they win when they're not supposed to, and they lose when they're supposed to win. So that's what happens with bad teams. So
Well, I can't say that the Steelers are any better. They're going to lose to not. They're not going to lose to the Bengals or the Bengals.
hmm
But you never know. I'm so disappointed that the Steelers got Russell Wilson.
no,
He was nothing in the Seahawks. He was
yeah,
good for a little while, and then he just. Well, what made
he
you think that when he went that he was going to be good for the Steelers?
yeah,
He's not Ben Roethlisberger. He's not
he's
Terry Bradshaw.
he's past his prime. He won a Super Bowl like what,
One.
nearly 10 years ago now, and he would have won a second one. if they just run the football and Marshawn Lynch. Again, I get a beast mode in the 1 yard line. They threw and he threw an interception and Patriots won another Super Bowl when they should have won back to back. But it's a whole other argument for a football show, maybe. But
Steven, who are you cheering for? Are you cheering for the Lions or the Steelers? Or of Lions and the Steelers. Listen to me. Lions and the Vikings.
All right, so we also get where is it? I just saw it. I just lost it. Hold on. We had Triple H talking about Cena and confirming a lot of things about his run, but
well, here we go with the farewell tour. It's kind of like, like when a singer is going to stop singing or they're going to stop at least going around from town to town. Oh, the Lions, of course. I hope the Vikings win. It's good. It's good.
Triple H.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So here we go with the farewell tour. I mean, they're not going to make him champion. I don't know. Maybe they would for like a month. I don't know.
Triple H states that John Cena is going all in with his farewell tour, making it his prime commitment, and he'll be wrestling a lot. He has made this his prime commitment for the year, and he's kind of all in. So he's going to be making some live events even. He'll be making some TVs. Not everything, because obviously supply and demand as well. He'll be like select premium live events. He's going to wrestle a lot. And then, it's sort of a 1 calendar year thing, and then he's going to call it a day. So he's going to be appearing a lot this year. He'll be seeing quite a bit of John Cena. So
right, and like I said, this is like not a musician, but like a singer who's kind of like Cher's farewell tour. Everyone knew Cher was gonna give up the ghost, so to speak.
Browns got their ass tonight.
No.
Mitch's evil mustache.
Oh no, Browns got their ass whooped. Hey, that helps the Steelers, but I'm not putting any. My man is from Minnesota, guys, and I think I've said this before, but I said that if the Vikings go to the Super Bowl, doesn't matter if they win or lose. Just that they went to the Super Bowl, that I would remake the Steelers song that they made for the Steelers when they went to the Super Bowl with the Vikings players. So I'm sorry there, Steven. He's like, hey, watch it. Hey, my man's from Minnesota. I'm guessing you're from Detroit. That's why you like it. So
I hope there's a power outage. Both beat my Bears bad.
Ouch! 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 Ouch!
Look, you're not a Giants fan, and they're probably the worst team in football all year. So at least they've won some games. So the Giants play the Eagles tomorrow night, and then they're done. Thank God, it's over. So Netflix is gonna be on Raw. We're gonna see a lot of John Cena. Like, I don't know why. Like the Rock also got like a bunch of shares more in TKO, so he got another $20 million in shares for TKO. So then he's gonna get another $20 million of shares over the next 5 years. So that'll be split up. So by the time they're done, he's gonna have probably $75 million in shares.
Of course.
In TKO.
Well, yeah, but I mean, John Cena's what? He's a professional wrestler. He's a movie star. He did that thing where he went and came out naked in during the Golden Globes or something, or the Star or something.
Yeah,
some kind of award show. He came out naked. I'm like, what are you doing?
It looked like a humiliation ritual. If you wanted to be a star in Hollywood, you got to do something humiliating.
Yeah,
so
I know. I can't.
That's how it came across.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So to be in Hollywood is a very sick place with sick people. So I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out it's got to be some kind of humiliation ritual in order to be accepted within the Hollywood community. So
well, I mean, and that there's. Okay, so he's done with the wrestling, but he can still be that movie star, right?
Yeah. I mean, once he's done with wrestling, he'll probably go back to movies. I don't know if The Rock was seriously in love with wrestling, he would probably make the same commitment as Cena does and show up every week, but he won't because, he's full of crap. So he'll only show up during WrestleMania season. And even though there's talk that he might not show up in WrestleMania.
I don't know why. I mean, he's a main eventer.
Yeah, because the rumored main event is Cena against Cody Rhodes for the title. Have Cena one last main event for the WWE Championship.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you know, I mean, I would hope he would not main event WrestleMania, but at least be a part of WrestleMania.
He'll
At
definitely be a
least
part of
night
that.
two, on my birthday night two,
Cena would definitely
Um,
be a part of WrestleMania, but there's talk of him main eventing against Cody Rhodes.
mm-hmm. All right. Well, I mean, and at least he could drop the belt at what SummerSlam or something.
If Cena is a 16-time world champion, he's tied with Ric Flair for that record. Getting one more world title will have him break it.
Mm.
And I don't know where the WWE wants Ric Flair to have their record. I mean, a record world title reign. Maybe they might give it to Cena. The question is whether Cody would drop it to Cena. I mean, Cody's right now they're golden boy. So if he says no, then they might not do it if they initially planned on doing it. So
And that's I mean, their guy right now, even though Cena he's only part-time or was part-time. I mean, he would come back for spots, but I mean, Cena at this point we already know, even if he kept it for like WrestleMania and then went on to whatever the next pay-per-view is after WrestleMania and kept it for maybe that long, but then he would have to give it back to Cody Rhodes or something like that.
yeah. So oops. Make sure you guys start migrating over to the Rumble. So I'm just going to link the INN Ocho Rumble. So because we're gonna be watching clips and stuff soon. So make sure you subscribe to that channel too. We have 5 subscribers on INN the Ocho on Rumble, and let me see how many we have for YouTube. I think we have 7 last time I checked.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, then Royal Rumbles in February. We already seen Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes for both belts. 10 subscribers now. Good, we got to 10.
Well, that one of them is me.
Okay, it was at 7 before last time I checked before we started streaming. So
Okay.
so it went
Okay.
from
Well, I
7 to
just followed
10.
the Rumble, so there we go.
Okay, so we had 10 in Rumble. I mean 10 in YouTube and looks like 6 on Rumble, which is good. It's a good start. It's our first stream in a new channel, so it's our first stream in a new channel. So alright, so let's see. If Cena does break the record, it's not the same as Flair's. Flair won world titles in 3 different promotions, where Cena only won in WWE.
I mean,
Yeah, but
true. Yeah.
WWE only recognizes Flair as only 16 world titles, but Flair alleges he won 22. So I don't know what to believe.
Yeah. I mean, that is a true statement where Flair, um, you know, I just, I don't know. Like, I just see that, yeah, Cena was always WWE because he was never around in WCW, but because WCW wasn't around when Cena first came in. He was I can't remember. It's uh wasn't he in Ring of Honor?
Who?
John Cena.
No, he's been WWE's entire career.
Okay, so he never like started.
No, he signed with WWE. Actually, he was in WCW's Power Plant very briefly, right before they shut down.
Okay. I
And
thought
then
maybe Jim Cornette had mentioned John Cena being in Ring of Honor or something when he took it over or something. Or was it
Cornette wouldn't take over in 2010, and Cena was already in WWE.
okay. Then
So
was he in Jim Cornette's
he was in
Smoky
OVW
Mountain
with Jim
Wrestling?
Cornette. No,
Yeah,
OVW when Cornette ran it. That's where he trained. Cornette trained Cena and Randy Orton and Batista and a lot of those guys that came up
that's
around
what
that
I'm
time.
thinking of. Yeah.
Is OVW. And that's where Cornette
OVW.
infamously fired when he slapped Santino Marella. That's a whole other story, though. Let's see. Real quick before we wrap up here on YouTube, Ric Flair being Ric Flair, of course. You know Ric Flair
Not
being Ric
again.
Flair here.
Not again. Oh no.
Yeah, so Flair tipped his waitress $350. Very wholesome gesture by the Nature Boy. No, it's not. I guarantee you. Look at that waitress. I guarantee you, he's trying to sleep with her. It's not wholesome.
Oh, he's definitely trying to get in her pants.
Yeah. He's like, this dude, like, oh, very wholesome net gesture by the Nature Boy. He's like, nope. He's like, that's not what he did. That's not
He's
his
just trying to
intention.
get in her pants. Let's
guarantee
be
you, yeah.
perfectly honest.
Look at her. There it is, 350. Oh, let me mute this. Play some music.
She's almost like doing it like behind his back, you know, sitting there going, "I'll just put in whatever I want." He's drunk; he doesn't care.
Yeah, Flair's
He's
probably drunk too. Yeah, look at all the alcohol there on the table. So that's Flair's TikTok. Apparently, it's a TikTok. And look, you notice where they started filming her ass. So like, whoever filmed that definitely got it in her ass first.
Ew, hey, stop.
They filmed her ass first.
I know.
And then,
but again, he was probably drunk, and she just kind of typed in, and he's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, I'll sign it." Let me just get in your pants.
John Cena is my N-word.
Ouch. Okay.
And so that I just real quick featuring that Vince McMahon's evil mustache, you know, being evil again. So
Steven, I wouldn't be surprised. He said Flair did mention in an interview podcast that he wants more matches. Yeah, I mean, his last match was at Horrid, and he passed out 3 times.
He had a last match.
I mean, hey, if you want to die in the ring, Ric Flair, by all means. I didn't like you. I don't like you as a person, and I don't like you as a wrestler.
His last match was a pay-per-view that his son-in-law, Conrad Thompson, set up. And I remember specifically getting into an argument with Conrad on X because I was like, really? You're going to use your father-in-law to do this pay-per-view when he clearly can't? And he's like 80 years old at this point, and he just got out of the hospital, nearly died. You're going to take advantage of him, do a pay-per-view? And he told me, well, yeah, he wants to do this. So I was like, yeah, you're supposed to be his son-in-law and look out for him. He's like nearly 80. And he just got out the hospital like 6 months before. So no, don't do you took advantage of him and took money for a match that he clearly couldn't do. So the tag team match, it was a tag team match. It was Flair and Andrade versus Jeff Jarrett and somebody else.
If you guys can take care of the troll in chat, that would be nice. Dory Funk Jr., 80 years old, wrestled in Japan. Yeah, I get it. But and Terry Funk was also very prominent up until his death. And I think he was 80, 90. I get that, but I mean, there comes a point where you have to say, okay, I'm not this person anymore. And really, Ric Flair sort of blurred the lines. He always thought he was a Nature Boy, and he partied that way. I just think he just can't let go. He cannot.
Oh, thank you, Steven. It was, I remember now. It was Flair and Andrade versus Jarrett and Jay Lethal. That's right.
Yeah.
That was his last match.
Well, remember the promo, Jarrett leaves Ric Flair like in the parking lot all bloodied up and stuff.
And
you know.
And I mean it's and Flair was like, and Flair was carried the big gold belt, and I remember this because it was sad. He had the big gold belt on, and it fell down and it landed on his ankles. So it was like really, why are you doing that? Why are you even carrying that belt? Like, you're not a world champion anymore. You haven't been in 20 years. Like, why are you still carrying that belt? And I mean, then he had to hold it up because his body couldn't hold it up anymore. So he had came to the ring kind of like this, holding his belt.
Yeah, I know. And it was just kind of a sad a sad thing because I mean, a lot of people looked at that last match and just said how horrible it was. Even Jim Cornette said it was bad. A lot of other people were just like shaking their heads, going, "What is Flair doing?"
Yeah.
At this point, we almost feel sorry for him.
Yeah, and Jim Cornette was a huge Flair guy, so it's not like he hated Flair.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So even he said that. Come on, that match was not. He shouldn't have wrestled that match. My daughter is a grown ass woman who can beat your ass.
I mean, I love that. Yeah, Stephanie, she got some flair,
Undertaker had
but
to go over the barricade to check on Flair. Yeah, Undertaker was there along with Mick Foley and a bunch of other legends were there.
it just wasn't it wasn't what it had been with Flair in the previous years. Yeah, Flair was doing great in his 50s and his 60s, but guys, there's time you just have to give up the ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
And that Ric Flair was a decent wrestler. Okay. Mr. Perfect was better, but he was a decent wrestler at the time.
let's see.
I that Flair just, like I said, he blurs the lines in between. He doesn't really know when to let go, and I don't think
Oh,
he knows who he
I'm
really
glad.
is. He thinks he's
Yeah, I'm
Nation
glad
Boy.
David mentioned this. Ric Flair winning the
Hi,
WWE
David.
title at Royal Rumble '92 was a mistake. What's
I completely agree.
what I wanted? I'm glad you mentioned Royal Rumble because my idea, maybe starting next week, would be we would watch we all three of us, me, you, and Alex, would pick our favorite Royal Rumble, and we would watch the whole match. We watch the Royal Rumble match, whichever
Okay.
our favorite is. You know.
I'd have to say mine is 89 because Kurt was in there for at least 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then guess who threw him
Hogan,
out?
just like he did in
Hogan.
'91, I think too.
I'm like, I hate you, Hogan.
Yeah.
I hate you.
So start
Watch it, Vince's
start migrating over
mustache.
to Rumble.
Big sister.
Hey.
Hello, little brother.
Yeah, I mean that's my idea that we would pick our favorite Royal Rumble match and then watch it over the next few weeks. So, but yeah, Flair winning the WWF title Rumble '92. Who's gonna win it? I wouldn't want Hogan to win it again. Maybe Sid Justice, but
No,
because the final three was Sid.
no, but I was thinking it depends on when Kurt was going to come back. I would have said Kurt Hennig. But it depends on how his back was and if he was really ready to go by Royal Rumble.
Yeah, when McMahon hired Flair in '91, that was the agreement that he win the title by Rumble '92, and Vince kept his word with Flair, so he was gonna get that belt one way or another. But yeah, I wouldn't put it on Flair. He's a WCW guy. I don't think he ever got over in WWF really. He worked with Macho Man. He had good matches with him, but I don't know how over he was.
I would dare say Bret Hart. Maybe put the belt on Bret Hart, and then when Kurt's ready to come back, put it on.
Bret would win it in '90 or at the end of '92. He would beat Flair for it.
Right, but I mean, you start at the Royal Rumble, give it to Bret, and then Bret, and when Kurt's ready to come back, Bret and Kurt, because those two could take down the house. Even if you rewatch King of the Ring '93, literally they had a great match. And that's actually hard to watch because you know that he's taking care of Kurt and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. So kudos to Bret.
Do you have any plugs you have to do? Because I have to go get another drink real quick. So I'm gonna let you do that. I'll be back.
Yeah, I got plenty.
And then we'll go to Rumble.
Yep. Okay. So hi, little brother. Basically, I have episode 66 right now out, and it is the match between Kurt and someone else. I've forgotten now. So if you want to check that out, it is.
Let me get
Kurt and Jumping Jim runs out. No, that was Joe. I didn't really get to see Joe's career, and but it is what it is. No, I would like to go back and see. So 67 is coming out tomorrow on Rumble, and it'll be coming out tomorrow on YouTube as well. 67 is a good one. Let me just few things here. 67 is Kurt Hennig and Luis Rivera. So Luis Rivera was a jobber, so of course, Kurt's going to go over. That's just how it goes. And so 67 will be coming out tomorrow. On Black Magic Talk, we're going to talk about, we're going to have a special guest. His name is Kit Red, not Kit Cabello. Kit Red is going to be on our show, and he is going to talk about his path and stuff. So again, Nick Riviera, you need to leave because you literally are just embarrassing yourself. Okay. Everybody is here for me and Angel. And if you don't like it, there's the door. Don't let it hit you in the ass on the way out. Okay.
Yeah,
Sayonara.
we're wrapping up here on YouTube anyway. So start going over to Rumble.
Related to you, Angel?
No, I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's something ridiculous, and he took it personally. So, whatever. Look, man. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but we don't need this on the chat. So, all right. So we're gonna wrap up anyway. So hope everybody has a nice weekend. We'll see you next week for Pro Wrestling Talk. So have a nice weekend, and we'll probably be reviewing the first Raw on Netflix next week. So look forward to that, and have a nice weekend, everybody, and peace out. All right, so that's one. I got to go to the other channels and wrap up there too, like separately. So just bear with us 1 second. I had to get more coquito, by the way. So.
Oh, did you see Define L's ridiculous tweet he shared today? He was apparently showing a tweet like, hey, he's like saying, someone's saying, what was it? Shit, let me go bring it. Let me bring it up again. You go do